everyone, welcome back to business studies class. So today's class will start with the element of direction, that is motivation. As we know, there are four elements of direction. That is, whenever a manager performs directing function, he uses four tools or four elements or four techniques. That is, first one is supervision, right? We have seen what is supervision, who is supervisor, and what is the importance of supervising in an organization, right? So the second element we are going to learn is motivation. That is the meaning of motivation we are going to learn, and the different terms used in motivation, and actually what is the process of motivation, and then we'll see the features of motivation. The word motivation is a general word what we generally might heard, isn't it? It's not a peculiar word. In day-to-day life, that word we might heard about. So in exact, we'll be saying what is this motivation and how it is an element of directing which is used by a manager in order to direct his employees. We know a manager whenever want to direct his employees, his subordinates, generally he uses supervision as a tool and also motivation. Let us see the meaning of motivation. See, motivation is a process again. It is not a single activity. It is a process which involves stimulating people. Stimulating in the sense making and asking them, not directly but indirectly, stimulating them, people, that is employees, to action, to do something. We are making them to work. How you are making them to work is called motivating or motivation. Okay, so motivation means a process of stimulating, making people, that is employees, to action to accomplish the desired goals. We know that organizational goals can be completed only through the group effort. It is not the responsibility of a single person or single employee of an organization to achieve the organizational goal. See, everyone has to contribute their part of work in order to accomplish organizational goal. But everyone may not be having the same idea. Hence, a manager, while directing the people to move towards the organizational goal, he uses motivation. Through motivation, he makes people work, that is, they have to do some activity in order to accomplish the organizational goals. So a second part, you can see, it is the act of inspiring employees to work hard to achieve the desired goals of the organization. Unless the efficient work of an employee is performed, the organizational goals cannot be completed. Hence, motivation is called inspiring people, that is inspiring employees to work hard to their maximum extent, to use their complete potentials and be efficient to achieve the desired goals of the organization. So this can be the simple meaning of motivation, which can be asked for 1 or 2 marks. You can see it is a reason. Okay, your motivation is a reason that drive or guide people to behave in a particular way. If someone behaves in a particular way, if you ask them why you are behaving in this way, why you are reacting in this way, they will be saying a reason. That reason is said to be a motivator in some things or in some situation. So we say motivation is a reason that guides, that makes people to behave in a particular way. If I am speaking, if I am teaching, what is my motive behind that? There might be different motives, but one motive, the general motive will be, I want to make the things understood to the students in a better way. So I am explaining in a elaborated way. So that what is my reason behind explaining a single thing in an elaborated way? That is, I want students to understand in a clear way. That is what my motive, that is the reason. Okay, motive in the sense the reason. So what is the motivation in the sense the reason for a particular person why he behaves in a particular way is called your motive or motivation. Here we come across 3 important terms in motivation, that is motive, motivation and motivator, right? So this can be asked for 2 marks. Okay, 3 terms used in the motivation, the concept of motivation, that is motive, motivation and motivator. What is this motive initially? It is the inner state that energizes, that activates and directs a behavior towards goal. That is the reason we have said now, that same thing. When I say motive, the need, the desire, the urge, the stimulating factor, is called motive. So that is what which makes us to behave in a particular way. If someone asks you why you want to study hard, you will be saying your intention that I want to grab that job, I want to have that status, so I was studying hard, I'm working hard. Like that we say something reason why we are doing that activity. That is what called your motive, the first term in your concept of motivation, right? Motive is a particular reason what makes you to work. Okay, see, the absence of that motive, if someone is not doing anything, if someone asks why you are not doing anything, because I don't want anything, so I am not doing anything. Is that clear? So the one who does not have motive, the need, will not do anything, to be frank. Okay, so we say motive is the reason why we behave in a particular reason. And how the motive arises, you can see it arises out of unsatisfied needs and causes a restlessness. So when you will be, how the motive will be there, means it arises through the unsatisfied. If you are satisfied with a particular thing, the motive will not be there. For example, if you have four-wheeler, okay, and you are happy with that, so you don't desire for having something more than the four-wheeler, or something, a branded four-wheeler you have already. So already you have the branded one, so you don't desire for something else. So there will not be any motive to work hard for you. Okay, so when actually motive arises, when you will come out with the desire, is because of unsatisfied need. You need something but actually you don't have that. Then what happens? The motive creates. Okay, the motive will be created and that directs your behavior. Hence we say motive arises out of your unsatisfied need, and where it leads to restlessness, or we say generally frustration. When you need something and you don't have that particular thing, that is what unsatisfaction. Okay, what it results with the restlessness, that is the frustration, like tension. Okay. Then the second term is motivation. As we already studied, it is a process of stimulating people to action, plus depends upon satisfying need of people. Okay, so motivation is a stimulating factor. It is a drive. It is a process of making someone. Motive is a need and motivation is making someone realize that need and making them to and asking them to fulfill that need is called your motivation. For example, you need a good job. That is your motive. So someone motivates you saying that if you read well now, you will get your desired job. Then you will be motivated. Hence we say motivation is a process. When you don't have motive, you will never be motivated. Are you clear with me? You only if you have a motive, someone can motivate you, or you yourself can motivate yourself. That is what we say self-motivation. Okay, when you desire for something, what you don't have actually, you desire for something, then a need arises, a drive arises, a urge arises in order to achieve that. Okay, unless you don't achieve that, you feel frustrated, restlessness. Okay, and you yourself motivate yourself, or you will be motivated by someone, which is a process to achieve the need what actually you have. Right? So that is what the process of motivation, that is a process of stimulating employees to do something in order to satisfy their need, is called motivation. And then motivators. What are these motivators? Through what you are getting motivated is called your motivation. In general, if you compare the employees, they will be motivated. How they work hard? See, everyone has to do their maximum work in order to achieve the organizational goals. But how they are going to work? Your manager has to motivate. How he is going to motivate? He is constantly say that if you work like this, if your efficiency reaches this, you will get promotion. You will get recognition. You may get extra pay. The organization may announce you bonus. So all these makes the employee to work hard, because actually he has a motive of earning more money. Okay, when manager says that if you achieve this, your intention of earning more money will be satisfied, then he will get motivated. Through what an employee is motivated is called motivator. See, when it is a case of employee, we say promotion, recognition, higher pay, bonus, extra benefits, all those things. It can be monetary or non-monetary. But when it is a case of student, what we say, like if you score good marks, you will be highlighted in a district. For example, if you get a district rank, DC will get you a gift. Like this, if something is informed to the students, in order to achieve that, in order to fulfill that they need, they start working hard. They start working, they start studying hard, and they try to score good marks because they want to get something from the DC, district collector, right? In that way, he will be motivated, the employee will be motivated to achieve whatever his desire is. So these are the three important key terms what you have to remember, that is motive, motivation and motivate. Next you have the process of motivation. When I say motivation is a process of stimulating, what this process actually involves? We know process means different activities. When I say activity, single work. When I say process, it involves different types of activities. Okay, first, how the motivation process starts. Initially, unsatisfied want. Okay, an unsatisfied want is a basis for the motivation. That is what we say drive for achieving, need, reason. If you don't have any unsatisfied need, for example, if you are completely having whatever you have, you can never be motivated for something else because you don't have any need at all. Unless you have a need, you will never be motivated. This point we have to remember. Okay, wants we say in economics you might studied about wants, na? So every person, every human being will be having different types of wants. So that want is a basis for your motivation. Unless you have a want, you will never be motivated. Okay, see how it is. See the process. First one is your unsatisfied want. Okay, when you desire something and still you didn't get it, then what happened? It leads to a second stage called frustration. Like you are not cool, you are in tension, means you are in frustration, frustrated feeling because you need that but you didn't get this. Is that clear? That is what your frustration or tension. Because of the unsatisfied need, want, the individual develops a feeling of frustration. That is, you are pressed between the two things. You need but you don't have. So, in between you are pressed, hence the stress will be released. That is what frustration. First, you have a want that is unsatisfied. Because that is not satisfied, you are resulted with what? Frustration. Okay, where this frustration leads to? The frustration leads to drives, means the frustration leads you to achieve that. See, when you need that and when you don't have a frustration, for example, I need food. Okay, I'm feeling hunger, I need food, but I don't actually feel anything about that. Okay, it's okay, I feel I'm feeling hungry, but also I don't care for that. Then what happens? Frustration does not arises in me. I'm feeling hunger and at any cost I want to get it, but I'm not getting it, then frustration will develop. Then generally we say na BP has been raised, we say high BP we say. Why? Because we need it but we didn't get it. Then what happened? The frustration releases. When you are frustrated about thing, now you will start desiring that like anything. Anyhow I have to get it. Okay, unless the frustration is released, you cannot feel a drive, means you don't feel, unless you have a feeling of frustration, you generally don't strive to get something. That is what drive. The frustration promotes the individual to search for the alternatives to satisfy his need. Unless you have a frustration of achieving it, having it, generally the drive never arises. Okay, you have a frustration, that is a feeling is released. Okay, now you are confirmed that I have to get it. In one or the other way, I have to get it. Where it leads to? It leads to behavior. It leads to a selecting of the behavior. If I do, my frustration will be overcome. What if I do, my drive will be, my need for achieving the unsatisfied need will be satisfied. That is what you are selecting of behavior. Among different type of alternatives, you will be selecting a particular type of alternative, that is alternative of your behavior. What if you do, your drive will be satisfied, so that your frustration will be lowered, your unsatisfied need will be satisfied. You will be having different types of behavior. For example, I said I am feeling hungry. Okay, so that is what my need, and frustration is there in me, that I want it, but I don't have it, so frustration is raised. And now you have come to a desire and a drive, that is urge, that somehow I have to get food for myself so that I can calm up my hunger. Okay, then I will select a behavior. What if I do, my hunger can be calmed up. What if I do, I can satisfy my hunger. You will be having different options. You can cook at home if you have all groceries, or you can order. Somewhat we have that benefit, we can order, or else we can go to the hotel, we can have there, or else at last what you can do, you can get it in some other ways, like you can go to your friend's house, your relative's house, so that you get something to have. This is a different option. So now you select the one option where your hunger can be satisfied, whatever, depending upon your situation. If you have money and if you have time, you can go to hotel, good restaurant, and have whatever you like. If not, if you want to prepare your own, you can prepare if you have time and energy. Or else if you have good friends, you can go to their home and you can enjoy with them by having. Like all these, you have different types of actions. So one behavior you will select so that your drive is completed. Once you selected and behave like that, then what happens? You were satisfied with that. I was hungry and I selected a behavior and I followed it. Now my hunger is, I had something, so my hunger is calmed up now. Is that clear? So here, after following a particular behavior, what you have selected, you are satisfied. So the started is unsatisfied needs, but now you are satisfied with what you have. Then what happened? Unless you are satisfied, your tension, what was there in your mind, will never come up. Once the need is completed, then you will be freed up with the feeling of frustration or tension. So this is the general process which can be asked for 2 marks without explanation, and it can be also asked for 5 marks in your practical oriented question. So first one is, it can be in the way of flow chart, that is unsatisfied need, then frustration, then drive, then selected behavior, then satisfaction, and then comes reduction of frustration or reduced tension. So this is the process of motivation. Every person will be moving through this process of motivation. See, many times someone else will not motivate us. It is we who motivate ourselves because of the unsatisfied need what we have. Unless you have that unsatisfied need, you cannot motivate yourself, or someone else can also motivate you, because you don't have a need at all. So initially when an employee tries to motivate the employee, his subordinates, he tries to find out the need of that particular employee, and according to that he starts motivating the employee. If you remember, we have seen one of the principle of directing, that is right technique should be used. So when you want to motivate an employee, initially you have to identify what type of need he is having, whether he is having a need or not. Okay, then use a right motivating tool in order to make that employee motivated, because unless he is motivated, he may not work hard towards the organization, and your organizational goals cannot be completed. So this is what the process of motivation. And next you have like features of motivation, that we'll be seeing in our next class. So in today's class, we have seen what is motivation and what are the different meaning of motivation, then different terms used in motivation, and then comes your process of motivation. Go with that. Okay, take the help of notes and textbook so that you will be clear with this. This concept is very interesting and very essential in our day-to-day life also. So please try to follow all videos. Till we meet in our next class, take care. Bye-bye.